CVNA could actually be facing a nice upside move before a deeper capitulation. Let's go ahead and find out exactly what I mean by that. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a CVNA Carvana. Technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this Monday night. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, so we are looking at Carvana CVNA on the 8-hour chart right over here, and we are in a massive descending channel. This descending channel is bullish by nature. It does have well, we can consider it a trend reversal signal for the larger term, since we are in the 8 hours. So reversal signals can actually take weeks and months for this to realize. But we're going to be focusing on some smaller time frame price action here based on a request. Now we are in a bearish setup right over here. This is a right angle triangle, or a descending triangle, as some people like to know it. This triangle does have a price objective for us to look at, but the price objective can actually be acquired when the breakout happens. So if we were to break out in this area right here, we would actually take a trend line from the top of the triangle, from the hypotenuse to the lowest point of the triangle, and then applying it right down here for us to see price objective. That would be only if we did break down or break out of the triangle at this point. But wherever we break out, that's where we're going to add that line to. So we don't know just yet when that can happen. But looking or judging by just raw price action and candle analysis, I can see that this candle is absolutely bullish, and it has not returned anything from which it has gained, which is a very good sign. It is currently facing some resistance at the 0382 at $7.23, but that is okay. The reason why I say it's okay is because it's primed for entry into the golden zone, or the golden pocket, which is usually known to be between the 0382 and the 0618. Excuse me. Okay, so also, we've only seen about 2 tests of the resistance from this formation itself, so there could be a potential to where we can actually reach all the way to the top. But seeing that we do have the 7-day exponential moving average here and a 10-day simple moving average here in direct confluence with the 1.618 golden ratio at $8.36, it leads me to believe that maybe this is the top target before we can actually make another test of this support before failing it. If we do have an impulsive move to the upside, meaning a little bit of FOMO kicks in with the price action moving to the upside, we can actually see a test of the resistance from the formation, which is also very much in confluence with another golden mean, and this is particular to the 2.618 at about $9.27. These areas are very, very desired, so we can actually take some type of we can take this into credibility. By that time, we can actually see the 30-day exponential moving average potentially moving right in accordance or in confluence with the 2.618 as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart to see what we have. Okay, so this is the statistical side of the analysis. Now, this is not going to be valid until we meet a few criteria. And now, for the new viewers, let's just go ahead and brief you guys real quick. So you're looking at volatility here, represented by this indicator, BBWP. BBWP, or volatility, is direction neutral. In order for us to gain a bias for direction, we actually pair it with an indicator similar to this one. This is stochastic momentum. It's very similar to an RSI. Okay, so right now we are suggesting a continuation to the downside. We are looking at a potential oversold within the next session. Now, we are looking at this in the 1-day chart, so this can likely take some time for it to realize. Now, the backtest was performed throughout the entire trading history of Carvana, and what I have noted is based on a volatility versus momentum profile. I have taken note of every iteration where we have started a contraction phase from what I consider to be the critical zone, the critical volatility zone, which is anything above this 90% line right over here with this red line. So every single time we've approached or we've started a contraction phase from these critical high levels, I have taken note of that iteration versus momentum to gain a statistical mean for us to look at some targets to the upside. In order for us to validate or apply the criteria from the backtest, we do need the stochastic momentum signal line and moving average both pivoted towards the upside alongside the BBWP volatility pitched to the downside. That would be ideal. Okay, but if we start getting a curvature here to the upside and this now goes back into critical volatility, that means a large move to the upside is coming. So there's a lot of variable within this. We do have to keep in mind those things. Okay, so the criteria for the backtest is the duration of the iteration and the upside thrust of the iteration versus the amount of times that the iteration guessed the upside correctly versus incorrectly. Okay, so based on those variables, before we talk about that, please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment. I need you guys to do your own DD, okay, and we'll be okay. So now let's look at those statistics. They are definitely statistical metrics. They are not certainty, so please know the difference, okay? We are looking at a total of 20 iterations in which volatility versus momentum guessed the upside correctly 16 times. That gives us an average upside accuracy of 80% with an average upside thrust of 54% over the span of 15 and a quarter days. This is proof of work. So, the statistical mean is basically useless until we do get that correction on the stochastic momentum. But you can see here that we're in a type of ascension here. So there's the potential to where we can actually face support right over here from this trend line and continue on to the upside, and meaning yes that we could see in the daily time frame continuation to the downside, which is very, very much in confluence with us making our downside from this immediate short-term area. So we're going to likely come back down to potentially this area here or test our very bottom right over here, in which case the stochastic momentum on a bounce from these areas right over here, we can see a corrective move to the upside, and that'll lead us to apply this metric into the statistics. Okay, so we definitely have a little more downside to go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. This is the daily RSI analysis that we're going to be looking at for Carvana. What I did note here is that we have 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish divergence, which is very good, and it could already have played out. But if we do finish this daily candle right over here and print still yet another higher high from these areas here, we can then confirm another 3 drives of bullish, or 6 drives of bullish divergence in total, including these 3 and the closure of this candle right over here. So that is only if we can actually make this RSI signal, which is the purple line. That is only if it is able to be maintained above, let's go ahead and put it right here for us, above this line right here. So if we're able to maintain ourselves above this line, then all these indications here will also be applied to the now newly made low from this RSI signal, which can then be another 3 drives, including these 3 drives of bullish divergence, which is looking very good. Excuse me, for Carvana. But we do need to get those things met first. Okay, so now let's look at a multi-pane to see what we have for the immediate short-term time frame. Okay, let's go ahead and maximize this one right over here and put it on the 30-minute immediate short term. 30-minute immediate short term is suggesting, with a very aggressive pivot to the upside, an upside continuation. We are approaching. Oh, you know what? For the new viewers and new listeners, I have made. These are the other videos that I'm uploading right now. So I have made a diagram for the RSI zones. This is the whole RSI, and I just blew it up right over here so that you guys can be able to see what those properties are, so that I don't have to explain it in every video. Okay, so the 30-minute Immediate short-term RSI is suggesting a continuation to the upside. We are approaching the very shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile, which means that we are likely to be gravitated into bull weakness. Very good. The moving average, represented by this pink line right over here, is also suggesting a continuation to the upside, and we have since crossed above it, which is very bullish. Okay, so now the buy hourly is suggesting a continuation to the upside as well. We are now above the moving average, which is very bullish. And excuse me, you guys, just had a lot of water before this video. And in this particular RSI, we are approaching the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile, which means that we can be likely gravitated into bear weakness. But I would like it to be a little closer into this shallow area here so that we can continue that upside. But the pivot is great. It's looking good. The cross has just been made, so the likelihood of us making an upside move is very probabilistic. So now the 6-hour time frame is suggesting an upside continuation as well. However, we are well within the bear strength percentile here, so we do have to watch out for that. We are also below the moving average, which is bearish, so we can potentially make our way up and then see a rejection to the way down, since this can serve as a form of resistance, which could be in accordance of what we're talking about right over here, a test to these potential levels before downside movement. So the RSIs are suggesting appropriately. Now the daily is, this almost confirms exactly what we're talking about, unless there's a catalyst in place that I don't know of, because I don't follow fundamentals, you guys. I'm a systematic trader. I base my decisions on data like this. This is what I base my decisions on. I study historical volatility, historical momentum, and I base my decisions within that. I trust the data. Okay, so now the daily time frame is making a bearish cross. The moving average is now above us, and we are suggesting a continuation to the downside, which is very much in accordance with this again. So we can see a maybe one session or half a session before us continuing to the way down. And I'm wondering if that's like, I'm getting this type of signal of momentary upside before downside for almost every ticker that I'm looking at. I'm wondering if this could potentially be like our little signal into the Fed is not going to pivot nothing for us. You know, they're just going to, they might just give us a 75 bip and then we're just going to capitulate to the bottom. I wonder if that's like kind of like what's happening here. Don't quote me on that. Okay, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure to do your own DD and we'll be okay. But yes, I think that this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. If you have any questions or concerns, I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to join the trading community ARCa in Discord. You can ask all the questions you want there. And also on my Twitter, DM me, just say hi. We can always discuss these analyses there. But with that said, I wish you a good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.